I'd like to congratulate my honourable friend, the member for Jarrow, for securing this very, very important debate. As we all know, in this tragic chapter of warfare, displacement and human suffering, it's our duty as one of the main occupying powers in Afghanistan to act responsibly and honour our humanitarian obligations. And LGBTQ+ Afghans are amongst the most vulnerable. They bear the brunt not just from the aftermath of this conflict, but from the ongoing persecution which stems from the former Afghan government, the current Taliban regime, the unsafe resettlement camps, the hostile neighbouring third countries, and perhaps most saddening at times from their own families and communities. The multiple threats on LGBTQ Afghans' lives show that they have been disproportionately targeted. We've heard horrific stories of people being humiliated publicly on the streets, forced into marriage and tortured. As if this wasn't cruel enough, we've heard today of both former and current regimes in the country advocating for the death penalty, indignity and persecution just for loving someone of the same sex. Now, in the aftermath of war, there will be an inevitable rise in the number of refugees and asylum seekers, and that's why I support all the calls made today, the calls from Stonewall and the Rainbow Migration and others to call for LGBTQ+ Afghan refugees to be given safe haven in the UK. And whilst I welcome the government's recent commitments to take in these refugees as part of the Afghan Citizens Resettlement Scheme, it's really hard to put faith in a government that has deported some 15,000 Afghans from the UK over the past decade. And whilst I understand this particular thing has changed, it's worth mentioning that as recently as 2017, the Home Office stated that a practising gay man who would not attract or seek to cause public outrage would not face a real risk of persecution. Yes, I will give way.
With me, maybe the Minister would like to explain what that actually means to the members here in the room today.
Ribeiro-Addy. Absolutely, and I'm hoping for that explanation at the end of the debate, because it is a disgrace that this government, having said that, would give itself credit for the inadequate support they continue to give to LGBTQ+ Afghans. And to make matters worse, the government's Nationality and Borders Bill will drastically limit the ability of those facing this persecution to apply for asylum in the UK. And it will only guarantee temporary protection for refugees travelling via a third country, inhumane offshore accommodation, raising the standards in order to prove that you are LGBTQ+, not allowing adequate time for vulnerable LGBTQ applicants to present themselves to immigration officials. All of this in this damning bill, which is yet another indictment on the government's cruel and inhumane immigration system. Now, I want to highlight a letter from my local borough of Lambeth to the Prime Minister, and this letter states that the environment for LGBTQ+ people in Afghanistan is harsher at present than almost anywhere else in the world. The letter goes on to say the actions you take to secure the human rights and indeed the lives of LGBTQ+ Afghans will speak volumes. I call on you to act quickly to protect the lives of all LGBTQ+ people in and displaced from Afghanistan. Now, I fully support... Yes, I will give way.
Very briefly, please.
Thank you. I thank my colleague for highlighting the work in Lambeth. I'm her constituency neighbour, and just yesterday we opened the first LGBT+ retirement home in my constituency in Lambeth. Can the Minister highlight how we will continue to support LGBT people in this country and people who want to seek safe haven here?
Ribeiro-Addy, 30 seconds left, please.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank my constituency neighbour for her intervention, and I'm sure she joins me in fully supporting the calls from the local council in our neighbouring constituencies to secure the protection of LGBTQ+ Afghans. Now, what's left for this government to do is actually heed this message of compassionate, passionate leadership and to act quickly, to act responsibly, and above all to honour this country's moral and legal obligations to some of the most vulnerable people in the world. Thank you.